how to speak English fluently in 10 steps and be 100% proud of the way you sound. First thing first, accept that you can learn how to speak English. Right now, English fluency might seem as distant as a rainbow, but all you need are the right strategies to learn how to speak English fluently and with confidence. Soon enough, your spoken English will sound even better than you imagine. Just follow the guide below on how to learn English in 10 smart steps. How to speak English fluently. 10 simple tips to talk in English like a native. Accept that English is a weird language. Sometimes you can find patterns in English grammar, but other times English doesn't make sense at all. For example, why? Why are you read? Present tense pronouns read and read. Past tense pronouns read. Spell the same but pronounced differently. Or why is mice the plural from the mouse? But houses is the plural of house. Unfortunately, there are just as many exceptions as there are rules in English. It's easy to get stuck on learning how to speak English properly. If you try to find a reason for everything, sometimes English is weird and unexplainable. So instead, the best thing to do just memorize the strange exception and move on. Dive into the deep end of English speaking. Studying English for an hour once a week isn't usually enough to make any real progress. The best way to quickly improve your English is to spend at least a few minutes practicing every day. Immerse yourself as much as possible every time you study and challenge yourself to listen, to read, and even say things in English that you think might be too difficult for you. If you want to speak English fluently, you need to make it an essential part of your everyday life. Stop being a student. The right attitude can make the difference between failure and success. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who is learning English and start thinking of yourself as someone who speaks English. It's a small change, but it will make you feel more confident and help you to use English you already know more effectively. This is also means you need to start thinking in English. If you want to say word apple in English, for example, right now you probably think of the word in your native language first and then try to think of the correct word in English. Instead, try to imagine a picture of an apple and then just think of the English word apple. Real fluency with English speaking happens when we stop mentally translating conversation. Remember, the answer is in the question. Listen carefully when someone asks you a question in English and will answer perfectly every time. English questions are like mirror. Does he? Yes, he does. Can she? Yes, she can. Is it? Yes, it is. If someone asks you a question and you are not sure how to answer, start by thinking about the words used in the question. The person has already said the most word you need to make your answer. Instead of just memorizing English grammar, start to look for patterns like that one. There are a lot of simple ways to cheat and make it easier to remember the right words. Get more out of listening to spoken English. When most students listen to a native English speaker, they focus on understanding what all the words mean. This is definitely important, but there is a lot more you can learn from listening. Try listening not just to what the word means, but to how the person says them. Notice which words the person